Alright, so welcome to this episode of Cue It or Screw It.
I'm Andrew Teeter.
I'm Kye Hogan.
What do you even do for the show? Like, seriously, you are useless.
Oh, I'm useless?
Yeah, you are.
I beg to differ. Who's useless now?
Why would anybody work with you?
Money. So actually, welcome to the show.
That was impressive.
Yep. Thanks. Told you I was good for something.
He's been working out.
I have been.
This is a show where we watch things on Netflix that both you have told us to and then we have decided to. And then we tell you whether or not you should add it to your queue or you should avoid it like the plague.
Yes.
Like the bubonic plague, in fact.
Also known as screwing it.
You could call it that too. So,
It's almost like we should have named the show that or something.
man. So this week we watched the movie Hot Rod.
Yes.
What did you think of Hot Rod?
I thought it was hilarious. I've been told for years that I need to watch this, and this was finally like my excuse to, okay, I'll sit down and watch it. Because I've heard funny things, like when it first came out, people were like, it's not that funny. But then after it came out on DVD for a while, people were like, this is a great movie. There were a lot of quotable lines in there. There were a lot of really funny scenes in there, just things that really stuck out and were memorable. Lots of quirky things. Stuff that I'm a fan of. So if you like quirky comedy, definitely one for you.
I would agree with a lot of what Kyle said. This is your first time watching the movie?
Yes, first time. Never watched it before.
This is my second time watching it. It had been a couple of years since I watched it.
Uh-huh.
And there were just so many parts that I forgot were hilarious. It is such a funny movie in stupid SNL sort of comedy. It does star people that were in SNL for a long time, and Andy Samberg and Bill Hader. And it shows in the style of comedy. If you like SNL, this is the sort of movie that you should be watching.
Definitely. This gets back to like the days of Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. So if you want like the latest thing that's felt like one of those two movies, this is where you want to go, because this is very reminiscent of both of those movies. And you can tell that, not just because it's an SNL cast, but just because it's that type of humor and it's executed so well.
So the movie is centered around Rod, who's trying to be a stuntman, and so there's a lot of stunts that he does that don't go quite as well as he plans.
But the best part, the reason he's trying to do these stunts is because his goal in life to become a man is to beat up his stepdad, who he constantly gets into fights with, and so his dream is to like beat him in a fair fight. And then he gets sick and needs...
He has a bad heart.
Yeah, and needs
a valve issue.
Yeah, needs like $50,000 for his surgery. So he does this stunt to raise the money so that he can get better, so he can be fought. That is the entire basis of this film.
It's essentially Napoleon Dynamite with funnier and more physical-driven jokes.
And it doesn't get old nearly as quickly.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of Hot Rod was the role that Will Arnett plays. I'm a huge Will Arnett fan from the time that he was doing Arrested Development, the Lego Movie now. If Will Arnett's in something, I'll try to watch it, because I like Will Arnett a lot.
He's a talent.
I think this may be Will Arnett's best role outside of Arrested Development. He's very funny. He's not in it a whole lot.
No.
Which isn't a bad thing. I think he's used very well and very strategically.
I would say
and it's very, very funny when he is used.
Isla Fisher is also quite the talent in this movie. I think she does a good job of showing her range from being hilarious to being heartfelt to being a dramatic actress in other movies, but she's got a good range and she uses it well in here. Like, she doesn't stand out as being someone who shouldn't be in a comedy movie.
Her part in the whole movie I don't think was necessarily though.
No, I mean, it was a romance for romance sakes.
Yes. Yeah.
But spade a spade.
But it did allow the movie to have a happier ending than it would have.
Oh, yeah.
It just succeeded. No spoiler here. Isla Fisher and Rod may have a relationship. I didn't say that they did or didn't.
Yeah.
It's not a spoiler. The movie doesn't have very many main characters, so it has a ton of these just bit characters, these weird kind of bit roles.
But they're used well. It's not just throwing an actor in because they're friends with him. They had the actor there, they used him well, and it was hilarious. Bill Hader.
Yeah.
Bill Hader's hilarious in this movie.
Danny McBride doing something that he couldn't do in As I Lay Dying, and that was be useful.
Yep.
They didn't rely too much on any one person or anyone
No.
to execute a plot or to execute the humor in the movie. I also think this movie does a wonderful job of using humor in tense moments.
Yeah.
It's a comedy, and it
Get out!
yeah, it's a comedy, and so there are these weird, serious moments that you're like, oh man, I didn't want this in a comedy. And then they shoot right back with a joke that's like, oh, I understand.
But they make it heartfelt. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just, oh, I'm kind of sad now, like in Big Daddy when they take the kid away. That's the worst part. And I still feel terrible after every time. But this is heartfelt without bumming you out.
Yeah.
So in the end, I would definitely say cue this movie. It's hilarious. It's one you could definitely turn your brain off, just sit back and watch. Watch with yourself, watch with a group of friends. Everyone's pretty much going to be on board for this one. It's pretty funny and universally funny.
I agree. I think it's a great movie to watch when you want to have a good time, when you want to enjoy the movie experience. And I think it's really perfect for when you're hanging out with a group of friends that don't really want to watch a movie but want to have something on in the background. I think this movie is just perfect for that. So with that said, I would 100% say cue it. Yeah.
But tell us what you think. Talk to us on Twitter right here, or check us out on Blogspot. Leave some comments on what you thought about this movie. If there are things that we missed, things that you want to have discussed, talk to us about those. If there are any movies that you'd like for us to watch, we can look at those, take those into consideration, see what we can do about those.
Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yes.
I get happy when I see we have more subscribers.
That's true.
Kyle's heartless, so he doesn't, but I do, because I care about you guys. I guess that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
I'm Andrew Teeter, and I like to party.
I'm Kye Hogan, and I also like to party.
Keep on queuing.